It's in the name.
Welcome into the Helping Healing Humor with Ben and Travis podcast. On today's podcast, we interview the man, the myth, the legend, the icon, the showstopper himself, Pizza Man, Jacob Hennigan of the Hennigan gang, getting gung-ho about Jesus. And we'll have that conversation about the adventures of Ben and Travis on the WorryCoaster right after these important messages. This episode of the Helping Healing Humor with Ben and Travis podcast is presented by Faulkner University. Faulkner University is a private Christian liberal arts university based in Montgomery, Alabama, with a mission to provide an education anchored by not only intellect, but also character and service. The Faulkner experience aims to educate the whole person. Every individual matters every day. We all want to become better versions of ourselves. No one wants to remain trapped where they are because of missed opportunities and unrealized dreams. At Faulkner University, we believe your dreams don't have an expiration date. We understand that you're looking for more than a degree. You want to find your niche and thrive in your career. Whether you're a high school senior just beginning your trek or an adult student looking for a better path, Faulkner is here to help guide your journey. Go to faulkner.edu to apply or get more info. That's faulkner.edu. I'm Travis Creasy, and I need your help alongside Liberté Ministries. We have TravisLovesHaiti.com, where you can donate a Bible for $5. They'll be translated into the Haitian language, and also trying to get Liberté Ministries in front of 12 new churches. So we're going 12 weeks for 12 new churches. If you could help us out, you can go to TravisLovesHaiti.com, or you can reach out to us at hello@benandtravis.com for more information, and we'll get you in connection with the great folks at Liberté Ministries. We're also matching the first $100 donated towards Haitian Bibles. So go check out TravisLovesHaiti.com. That's all-pro counselor with three-chord counseling in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. Ben Hayes, we're at Maywood. How you doing?
I'm in Maywood. Do I have to say anything else?
No, because it
is great.
Encapsulates everything.
It
You're fired up, tired,
wonderful,
sweaty,
wonderfully tired week. I was up till 2:30 last night, I believe.
doing the
Jacob's
Lord's work.
Probably up way later than that. But
I actually had a dentist appointment at that time.
Oh, that's incredible.
At 2:30.
Somebody pulled your tooth?
2:30?
2:30? 2:30.
I bet it was Prentice the dentist, too. Prentice the dentist.
We knew there was going to be jokes.
Yes.
That's the
We're
first
off and running. That's Jacob Hennigan. Jacob, how are you doing, man? How's your week at camp going?
It's been great, and that ain't just because I'm on camera and audio right now.
That's all I said it for.
The group of guys that I've been with have honestly been. This has been the best cabin in all of my.
Cool.
This will be my 16th year at Maywood.
Oh, wow.
It's my 16th year at Maywood with Highland Park.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It's my 31st year altogether, but 16th year with Highland Park. That's awesome.
I was going to be super depressed because I thought you were going to say it was your 16th year to be a counselor. And I was like,
Yeah,
there's no way Hennigan is that old because that means I am ancient. So thank you for qualifying that.
Started coming when I was 9.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes me feel a little better.
So what age group do you have?
I ended up with a really weird cabin because
a split one.
we have a 13-year-old, we have one 14-year-old, we have a bunch of 15, 16, and 17-year-olds. We have a couple 18-year-olds and one 19-year-old.
That's a really odd mixture of people. So
Yes.
yeah,
Literally every
Like
single
every age.
year, a person could be a teenager
at Maywood.
at Maywood.
So Jacob is, as you've probably seen, as we've advertised and put out there, many of you have already pre-ordered the Adventures of Ben and Travis and the WorryCoaster. And let me just say thank you because you are greasing the wheels to keep this thing rolling. But Jacob Hennigan, like I said, we've known him for a long time, and he is our illustrator. Is that the right word? For
Yes.
a children's book.
Illustrator, artist.
Yes, and he is absolutely tearing it up for Jesus. And you've seen some of that. We put out some of the stuff, some previews, and so we just want to bring him on and interview him, and maybe talk a little bit about your history into getting into art.
Sure,
I think
absolutely.
most artists figure out kind of early on that that's something they at least like to do. But give us a little background about how you got to where you are, and you're not just an artist. You write music and all kinds of good stuff. So.
I don't know if I would advertise that, but
Tell some really bad jokes occasionally.
I
We'll do that too.
I always knew I wanted to draw for a living, which, I mean, most kids, they're drawing as soon as they can hold a pencil right. And so I was drawing since before I could walk, and where other kids quit drawing and found other hobbies, I just kept drawing every day. And I always knew I wanted to make a living at it. And then I got really into storytelling. Like I would actually make kids' books when I was a kid. I would like draw the pictures and tell my mom what to write down before I knew how to write.
That's awesome.
And so that's always been part of my thing is I love drawing and I love telling stories, and something like a children's book, a children's picture book is the perfect combination of that, which ideally I want to make a living making comic books. That is the dream, is to make a living making comic books. But in the meantime, making Ben and Travis books, that ain't no bad deal either.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's a close second, okay? It's a close second to the comic books. And your comic book skills are incredible. So, you know, if somebody out there is listening to this that's in that realm, you need to look up his stuff. It's really good.
Where can they get that, Jacob? Go ahead and plug it away. Let's go.
You can find me on Instagram at Jacob_Hennigan_art. It's a red rooster logo. I should have worn my shirt. Yeah. It's a red rooster is the logo. Or you can find me online at JacobHenniganArt.com.
Right. And the same thing, BenandTravis.com/books. You can pre-order The Adventures of Ben and Travis and the WorryCoaster. And I was introduced to your art, I think, by and I may describe this wrong, the Elvis zombie art that you had done. And at that moment, I was like, we've got to like incorporate this guy into something we're doing, Ben and Travis. I think maybe that was pre-children's book idea, or maybe kind of right at the beginning. But from that very moment, I was like, this is a guy we got to work with in some capacity.
I distinctly remember showing you the Apocalypse Elvis, the zombie Elvis stuff, because I just thought you would love it. But also at the same time,
correct.
Us always saying for years and years, like, oh, we gotta like you'll make a Ben and Travis T-shirt, or you need to do a Ben and Travis this or a Ben and Travis that, and that just always constantly that idea rolling around every time we see each other at Maywood. And then only recently it became a children's book, and then even more recently, it's finally getting off the ground, which I'm so glad of.
Yes.
And I'm glad that I'm in a position right now where I can sink time into it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and you've been doing a lot of Comic Cons and different things in different places, right? You've been going and like setting up at those, and so I guess you sell things. You said you do a lot of drawing while you're there at them, but
yeah, so
rubbing elbows with the other people.
Yeah, I'll go to comic conventions, and there's two kinds of comic conventions. There's the big ones and the small ones. And at the big ones, I pay a bunch of money for a table to set up and sell books or art prints or do commissions or whatever. And I never make back my money for traveling and staying at a hotel or wherever and the table. But at the big ones, you get to rub elbows with the big shots, like you were saying. And so those are for networking.
Yes.
And then at the small ones is where you actually make your money. The best day of a Comic-Con I ever had was at the Tupelo, Mississippi flea market and furniture store. It was the dingiest, sweatiest little warehouse I've ever been in my life. And
flea markets for a reason.
I was one of the only actual comic artists there. Everybody else was like selling buttons and stickers. And I was one of the only people that was actually selling art and making art, because I'll sit at the table, and if someone comes up to me and says, hey, I want you to draw me a picture of this superhero that I loved when I was a kid back in 1974 that nobody really thinks about anymore, I will draw you a picture of that exact superhero doing whatever you want me to do. And awesome. So people were coming up to me and giving me commissions, and I was drawing video game characters and superheroes, and I drew a koala with a machine gun. But I was just making money hand over fist all day, and I got to meet Butterbean,
Oh, wow.
Butterbean.
Alabama's proudest son,
Yeah,
Butterbean.
Yeah. Tupelo, baby.
Yeah.
Tupelo, Mississippi. That sounds like an incredible time. And I
Yeah.
feel like I need to be your roadie or something so that I can go see those wonderful places and their awkwardness that is just another level, but wonderful awkwardness. I feel like you and I may spend a lot of time in that and kind of wallow in it to some degree. The awkwardness is kind of fun. But, you know, I've seen even at CYC, you were with us. We bring you up on stage, and you are, in my mind, the quintessential pizza man.
Legendary.
You have a video
legendary.
from the old Solomon's Porch, which is now vintage, on our TikTok that's got almost 50,000 views of you doing Pizza Man right here at Maywood. And like every day I get a notification that someone else has added it to their favorites on TikTok. It's wild how many people love.
And all the
Pizza
times
Man.
we've tried to get people to watch our videos, and they won't watch them, but you get Jacob Hennigan on there with his.
They come in for
cowboy
Pizza
hat
Man. They see everything
goatee.
else, and they're like, "Well, it's not quite a follow worthy, but I'll slap that favorite on there, and we'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. It's a beautiful thing."
Well,
So
I can't claim writing the song. People
Right,
come
right.
up to me and think that I wrote it. That's an old song.
Yeah,
I just
yes,
happened to
yes.
be the one to introduce it to
You
Maywood Week
just
4.
perfected.
you
it.
just take it to another level.
You didn't write it. but
Jerry
you done
Holder's great at
perfected
doing
it.
that song.
Yeah, absolutely.
But wow, let me tell you, you just take it to another level. Then you have the cowboy hat on at CYC, and then it was on.
The belt buckle.
'Cause it was
blue
like,
jeans.
You know, people knew Ben and
Icon.
Travis. And then we were like, and you could come see the Pizza Man or Jacob Hennigan at our table. And it was like,
Ooh.
boom. I mean, everybody was there. They were looking at your stuff. It was a really cool
It was.
weekend in February. And of course, we hope to keep the ball rolling there.
The instant legend.
Hey, folks, on August 24th, join us at the Marriott Shoals Conference Center for the 2024 Heritage event, sponsored by Heritage Christian University. This year, we're proud to have Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder headlining. Experience an incredible evening of bluegrass music while supporting a great cause. All proceeds are used to prepare students for thriving ministries worldwide. Secure your tickets at hcu.edu today, and I'll see you there. You know, what are some things? You know, we obviously have our goal in mind, and I've been kind of hands off on the creative, doing more of the marketing that you're talking about.
Mhm.
But kind of you guys talk about, you know, maybe even so far in the previews, like your expectation of what it would look like and how close, or in my mind, he's blown it out of the
Yeah,
water of what I was expecting. When you sent us that cover, I was like, wow, I mean, that pops. And you know, the biggest compliment Jacob can receive in my universe is if my wife is like, that's really good. She don't deal out that stuff, at least to me. So what do you guys think? You know, it was kind of your idea, your thought, and now that he's putting it into something you can see, it's pretty impressive.
Well, I'd say, like, yes. I kept thinking, okay, we could write this book, and then, we might can illustrate it. And I'm like you. I was the kid that grew up doodling. I drew comic characters. I did all kinds of stuff. And I still love to kind of mess around a little bit. My kids think I'm a really great artist, and I'm like, no, you really should meet Jacob. But so in my mind, I kept thinking I could probably, and based on some of the books I gave you, I was like, I could probably illustrate a book, because there's some of those illustrations are not, there's books out there that don't have that great. And I kept thinking, I just don't have time to do that, and I don't really think I can make it look right. And I thought, man, Jacob would probably knock this out of the park. So we handed it to him thinking it could be pretty good. And it's really not just pretty good. It's phenomenal. And I think everybody else that has seen the front cover CYC online have just rave reviews of it. We've seen a few other pages that have just like blown away. I've already got plans to make one of them into like a wall hanging, if I can get it, of the roller coaster doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And so I'm blown away by it. But like, what did you think when you got that front? Like, hey, here's our idea. How daunting did that feel to you?
Well, I had done illustrations for children's stuff. Like I've done kids' Bible books and things like that before. And I was overjoyed with the subject matter that y'all gave me, because in the past I've done stuff for, let's say, a kid's Bible book, and they have me do 30 illustrations of children paying attention in class, or children following instructions, or children sitting down and being nice and quiet,
What universe
or
is
children.
that?
Yeah, and it's just the most boring possible
Yeah.
things. And in my opinion, kids don't really respond well to that type of stuff. Kids like sound and action and bright colors. And y'all gave me that in spades with the way that you came up with the concept of the book, where part of it takes place in the real world, but the real meat and potatoes is what happens in the two characters' imaginations. And so that gave me free reign to do some crazy stuff that wouldn't be exactly realistic in the real world.
Yeah.
And I got to like the way that the roller coaster is a metaphor for Ben's anxiety. And I was like, oh, well, what if it's a living, breathing character that has a personality? And he's like the actual face of, he's the bad guy of the story. And I got to come up with like the color scheme for the dream world in the background, the visual language where a kid can look at one page and instantly, without reading any of the words, understand, oh, this takes place in the real world, and then look at a different page and say, oh, because of everything that I see going on in the background and the wacky colors are so bright and everything, I can tell that this takes place in the imagination, in the mindscape.
Yeah. I remember when we were in our meetings talking about if we wanted to do this or not, that we were really, and I'm sure Ben was right there with us, on that same page of the roller coaster is alive. It's juicy. It's coming out of the page and really kind of enforces the feeling. Not that we want to scare anybody, but that feeling, you get it. Like you get the feeling you're in there with the characters. Like, oh, I felt that before. Maybe not about roller coasters or whatever, but that was really neat when that kind of clicked and it was like, oh, we're kind of already on the same page with this. Of course, I tend to give God the credit for stuff like that he works those things out. So kind of as we wrap up, I know this is a subject we could go on about, and maybe you've already done this page, but is there a page out there that you are looking forward to, doing in the future? So, like maybe it hadn't been done, maybe you have done it, or maybe there was one you can speak to that, man, that was just a whole lot of fun to do. Maybe you've already done that, but is there one floating out there that you're like, man, I can't wait to do that? Or
one of the more fun ones, which is towards the beginning of the book, and it's when we're still establishing, like, they're doing this in real life, but in their imagination, it's way larger than life. It's big, it's huge, and it's fun. Is when in their imaginations, they're fighting this giant city-destroying lizard.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Godzilla. But in real life, it's just the neighbor's dog came into their yard and they're playing with the dog, and the dog is licking their faces and everything like that. When I was in the thumbnail stage that's my, for those of you that don't dig this jive, that's my quick sketches. It's supposed to be about the size of your thumbnail. It's supposed to be small and really fast and just get your idea out there really quickly. And if it looks bad, then do another quick one. And it's no big deal. I went a little too crazy because I'm a big Godzilla fan. I like King Kong. I like Gamera movies.
Yeah.
I like anything where large things are destroying smaller things.
One of the video game Rampage, was that the video game?
Yeah, Rampage.
Destroy the city. Let's go.
My anxiety. Now it doesn't. But anyways, go ahead.
And so I went crazy, and I was like, oh, I want this creature to be obvious that it's like a Godzilla type lizard, but also at the same time obvious that it's the neighbor's dog.
Yeah.
And I spent way too much time sketching, which is basically a done drawing now, which is the good thing.
Yeah.
Whenever
really
I
good.
actually get to around to that page, I can just plop it in there and draw everything else around it.
Yeah.
But this really fun, I hope it looks fun and kids will find it fun.
I think it is.
Lizard dog creature that is sitting in the middle of a city and scratching fleas out of his lizard dog ears.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the Ben and Travis, in their minds, they're superheroes and they're about to go do battle with him. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things. Like, there's a lot of things in the story that are similar to what Travis and I did. There's a lot of things that are, of course, played up a little bit, a little bit more. But I mean, we had big imaginations. We could turn a baseball bat into anything. That was one of the things we threw at you. Like a baseball bat could be a bazooka, a sword, a lightsaber, whatever you want it to be. And so the bat plays kind of a role in the whole book too, because you see it being those different things in the real world, and then seeing that we're holding something else in the fake world. So it's kind of a really cool play.
It's an actual
on
bat
pictures.
Because BAT, it's in the name. But I didn't even think about that till you were just talking about it. But hey, it works. It works.
But a really cool play. We have play on words, but play on the pictures too. Of just here's kind of how we did life as kids and dealt with things. And I think in a world where we sometimes worry about, do kids have the imagination they used to? Because now you can watch anything you want. You can go online and Minecraft and create anything you want. And sometimes I'm like, man, I could have done damage on Minecraft back in the day because we played Legos all the time. And so I think there's still a lot of kids with creativity, and they're still doing those. It just comes out in different ways, but that was just the way we lived our life. So hopefully it's kind of a fun thing for them to go through. And I think for you, I think your story is one that encourages kids to, hey, keep being creative.
Absolutely.
Keep drawing, keep making music, keep doing those things, because that's a really good part of life.
We would love for you to join in on the adventure. We've had well over 100, approaching, I think, around 200 pre-orders, and that can still be done at our website. Like I mentioned, benandtravis.com/books. That link will be in the description. We've got t-shirts, we've got stickers, we got the producer level, which is the highest level, and you'll get more audio like this. Hope that excites you, where we do the audio book, and you get that. You get an autographed copy. You get it before anyone else. You get a t-shirt, or you can sign up for the supporter level, and you're going to get that book as soon as we can get it to you, with a nice autograph in it as well. But Jacob, we appreciate you taking time to be with us here at Maywood. It's Friday of Maywood. Friday of Maywood, and in some ways it is zoomed by. In others, I can't wait to sleep in my own bed. So it's a win-win.
Amen.
But Jacob, anything else you'd like to share about it? Plug your stuff again.
One thing which I hope this isn't revealing too much, because in my art I put a couple little Easter eggs for people to find that I don't really tell them about. But
you're about to tell them.
I'm about to tell.
I like it.
One little Easter egg. You're saying BAT. It's in the name. On Ben's character, with the glasses and the hair. Y'all both have dark hair. And so with Ben's hair, I colored it all black except for a little highlight on the side and a highlight on top. That highlight on the side, I'm trying to, every single time you see that, it is in the shape of a Ben and Travis bat.
Nice.
Sometimes it's a little distorted. Sometimes it looks a little wacky, but
it's just
most of the time it's a Ben and Travis bat right
that's
there.
why
on
you're
the
the
side
man.
of his head.
That's why you're the man.
I'm excited.
It's the details, people.
Awesome.
It's the
It
details.
really is.
If there's some way, some information you like more, or like you want to support even more this venture, we'd love to hear from you. You can hit us up at hello@benandtravis.com. If you don't do that, one quick way you can get the message out is to share this episode on whatever your favorite platform is, or share them on all the platforms, so that we can get this message out to folks who obviously need it. And if nothing else, the most powerful thing you can do is pray for this venture. Jacob, once again, thanks for being with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on the podcast, and thanks for making me part of this book.
Hey, Dodgeball Daredevils, ready to jive and dodge for a cause? Swing by the Staying Alive Disco Dodgeball Tournament at Mars Hill Bible School in Florence, Alabama on August the 17th. Head to benandtravis.com/dodgeball to snag your or your team's spot and support St. Jude Children's Hospital. Let's dodge, dip, dive, duck, and donate our way to victory. It's going to be a blast, so don't miss out. Sponsorships are now available. For more information, email hello@benandtravis.com.
Thanks for being with us for this episode of the Helping Healing Humor podcast. Be sure to download our free ebook, 28 Days of Focused Living, at benandtravis.com and receive all of our Helping Healing and Humor extra content directly in your inbox. We look forward to having you join us at the same Ben and Travis time, same Ben and Travis channel.